Greetings and salutations, my friends. How are you today? I hope everybody is ready to get kind of artsy. Should I have my camera the other way? Should I have it the sideways way? Or is that good? All my little notes everywhere. So I just want to make sure that everybody remembers that the only thing to think about today is just making some art. Nothing, no pressure, just fun. Just fun. So you will probably hear my phone ping a lot today because I had a brand new great niece born in the middle of the night. And her name, hey Olga, her name is Charlie May. Is that the cutest name in the world? She's just a little peanut. She's only 5 pounds, but we are so excited in my family. We are a baby-loving family, that is for sure. So I just want to, hey Keels, hey Stephanie. I just wanted to make sure that I talked about the places to find me: Facebook and Corbiere-Scott Designs, Instagram and Corbiere-Scott Designs. Are you sensing a trend? Email and Corbiere-Scott-Designs@gmail.com. And then once you've taken this class, you can join my private Facebook group called Let's Get Artsy with Anne. Just remember to please answer the questions. It's super important. And if you haven't answered the questions, you can go back and answer the questions. I have 2 girls who wanted to join, but they need to make sure they answer the question. And who? And Corbiere-Scott Designs. Hi, Kim. Is it Kim or is it Maddie today? I wanted to also tell you that I try to send out periodic emails. Please at least open one, because if you don't, MailChimp, which is the distribution that I use, they will try, I think, 2 times. And if you don't open them somehow and subscribe or whatever they call it, then you will get bumped off my list. And so then you won't know what's going on. And I have some fun stuff coming up. Super, super fun. But what I wanted to talk about today is that we are going to paint in inspiration of Georgia O'Keeffe. So Georgia O'Keeffe was known as the mother of American modernism. So at the turn of the century, between the 19th century and the 20th century, mostly right after the World War I, there was a big switch in the world of art of any kind, not just visual arts, but in writing and all kinds of things. So George is cool. The thing that just draws me to her is, number one, she loves flowers. Me too. And she really liked to do super, super close-ups of flowers. And she liked to fill her whole space with flowers. So the first thing, so this is my sample that I started that is warm colors: reds, orange, yellow, pink. And this one I'm going to do cool colors: greens, blues, purples. So you can choose whichever one you want, but we're just going to, remember we had talked about really working, introducing a little, hey Tam, working with the color wheel, like just doing a little bit of color theory every time. And I'm telling you, it will start to just be part of your artsy arsenal in your noggin, and you will see a huge difference in your art. So she really focused on details and close-ups. So for this, I'm going to show you my painting technique for my background. So I just wanted to fill the whole background. Becky, hello, all the way from Scotland. How are you, my darling? So this one, like I said, we're going to do cool colors. So I'm just going to do kind of a bouncy, so use like a big brush if you have it. And I'm just going to kind of just, seriously, it's just kind of bouncy, fill the space. And I just kind of keep going over it until it's kind of the, it kind of looks the way I want it to look. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that it's, I want lots of darks and lights. Like always, I start out kind of washy, and then, and if they mix, shut up, look how pretty that is. We're just gonna pounce color on there. So, it is so dang hot here in Arizona, I'm telling you. It's a good day to be inside and just painting a picture. It is 100 degrees today. It is projected to be 100 degrees. So, painting a picture inside in the air conditioning with every possible fan on is music to my ears, that's for sure. So I'm going to continue this and fill up the whole page. So how about everybody else? How has your week been? Oh, Beck, I bet it's not as hot as it is here in Scotland. We have followed each other's work for a long time, haven't we, Miss Becky? Becky and I designed side by side for a company called Rusty Pickle. Does anybody remember Rusty Pickle? It was a company, oh golly. Well, I designed for them for quite a while. I think it was like maybe 4 years. Anyway, boy, we had lots of fun back then, huh, Beck? So seriously, I'm just kind of creating this pouncy background, and then we'll draw on top of it. You know how I love doing that. That's for sure. We were Rusty Pickle chefs. But here's the crazy thing. We sent each other kind of some crazy, like she sent me Scottish things, and I sent her American things. And you know what? We never met in real life. It was kind of crazy. But we have followed each other. Thank goodness for the internet, right? So I'm just going to keep filling the background. Stephanie, my video is still going. So is yours. Let's go to Scotland, Keels. That's right. You would love Becky. You would. So I'm just going to kind of keep layering colors. So here's the thing about today's project. I don't think our video is going to be as long. Hey, Tracy. Because I'm going to have to do it in a little bit of steps. So while this is drying, I'm going to show you on my warm color version. Um, so you might have to just follow along today. I hope everybody's painting. Hi, Sue. I do. Hope everybody's painting, because what a better way to spend a Saturday morning, you know? Or afternoon, I don't know, wherever you are, whatever time it is. That's kind of the crazy thing about this whole thing too, isn't it? Like, you know, time, days, everything is so crazy. Okay, so I'm going to set this one aside and show you what I kind of had in mind for... Oh, I love that, Tam. What I kind of had in mind for this art journal entry. So a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. So I have these big clips. I think they're called bullnose clips or something like that. Anyway, I use them to, sorry, trying to do it one-handed. I use them to hold. Hey, Sue, how are you? Sue from Oklahoma and Sue from Arizona. So anyway, I use it to hold my art journal open, and I'm telling you, that will make a huge difference for you. So, I thought I had another paper towel, but oh well. So, hey, Sarah. So, Georgia had some really cool, quotes. And so I like to incorporate words with my art. So, one of her big quotes is, I decided if I could paint that flower in a huge scale, you could not ignore its beauty. Shut up. That's so cool, right? So I'm thinking that I was thinking about a couple different things. I was thinking about doing, like, we could do some mandala work in the petals or in the center. We could do her quote in the center and then do some mandala work. You could do whatever you want, because remember, we're inspired by her, but we're creating our own thing. And that's kind of an important thing in the art world. So let's see. I decided... So I like to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like to, so let's do some, we're going to fill the whole page with flower. Do you see how some of my petals go off the edge? That's okay. You want your flower to touch all 4 sides of your page in your art journal. So then I'm thinking that I want to fill this center of the flower with my words. So one way of doing that is to draw some guidelines, right? 1, 2, 3. What did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now, do you see what I did? I divided up my quote by however many stanzas there were, so to speak, and then I'm going to fill those. I decided that so I'm going to fill this. So now I'm going to bring my letters all the way to the top. Let's see if I can see if you guys are talking to me. Is anybody commenting? Let's see. Oh, I need to turn down the volume. Oh well, I will just stand up and see. The quote is, "Hi Pam. Hey Lana. I decided that if I could paint that flower in a huge scale, you could not ignore its beauty." There, does it? Can you? What if I just said it there? You have to eat my chicken scratch a little bit, but I think that. So I wanted to show you a couple things. So I decided, no, I still have that if. So I can write, it's never going to fit in this space. But I could write this, I could write that here, and I could write if here. I could paint. I mean, you could do some fancy lettering within this the allotted space. You can use a thicker pen. You know, it's all up to you. Could paint. I like to look for the little pockets, the little nooks and crannies that are naturally within letters. If you've taken my art classes, you know, my lettering classes, you know what I'm talking about, but I'll talk about it here. So here in the L kind of automatically creates this little shelf, right? So on top of that, I can have the D. In the P automatically has this little opening down here, this little nook. So I can put my A underneath there. That flower in A. So we could do whoops, I should have made that all the way to the top. Dang it. Oh well. That. So we could write the word flower. We could draw a flower. Remember, it's whatever we want it to be. So let's that flower. In a huge scale. So let's make big letters. So here's a little lettering tip. If you would a nice thing to do is to have your cross bars all be at the same point in your letters. So the H, the G, the E, the cross bars are all at the same point in the letter. And I'm telling you, that creates more uniform, what am I trying to say? It's more uniform to do it this way, and the flow is super nice. Uniform scale, so let's do S, C, A, L. Remember we have that little shelf of the L again, and then we can put our E right here. How cute is that? U, Y, O, U. There's a comma there. Could not ignore. So there's a little opening right there. So we could put the O right there. L. Now this one, let's do the D lowercase, but still on that shelf. Not. Let's do this one all caps. No particular reason, just because I felt like it. Ignore. I. Okay, so I like to do, when I'm filling a space like this, I like to do my G's like this. So I'm not Um, I'm not tall, skinny, tall, skinny, tall, skinny. It's beauty. I'm not going underneath the little perimeters I've made for myself. Let me see. Is anybody asking me any questions? Perfect. Thanks, Keels. Hey, Tara. Hi, Sherry. Michigan is, boy, they've got it bad, don't they? So much sadness and cooties. Hi, Jamie. Let's see. We still need to write It's Beauty. So I hope everybody like at least paints the background and then fills it with a flower once it's dry. So Georgia O'Keeffe, if you don't know, she really liked to do close-ups, and she was so well trained. She went to art school in Chicago, and she went to art school in New York. But she was born and raised in Wisconsin. But she ended up moving to New Mexico, and that's where she spent the majority of her life, and that's where she lived until she passed in 1986. And I think she was like 98 or something. She's just quite a woman. Anyway, she liked to do lots of things close up. So she did certainly lots of flowers. Her most famous ones are poppies and some sort of lily looking flowers, but she also did rocks and bones and skulls that are just stunning. Her use of color is seriously so tremendous. So tremendous. Okay, so let's do beauty. How can we do beauty in a different way? B. So, do you see in the B, there's this natural spot right here. We can come across. Remember I talked about doing your crosses about the same space. A's are kind of tricky because I find they're skinny at the top. So if you're doing like this, it's hard to see if it's hard to see your crossbar. So that's why I make a lowercase a oftentimes, and I just like it. U T Y. So now I might come back and like thicken these a little bit. Maybe just do a second line. I will say, remember we talked last week about when you're drawing something kind of whimsical like this, to hold your pen up high, and then you're going to get some nice, just sketchy, loose lines. Draw your first petals and then come in and just add some scribblier, looser lines. And I'm telling you, you won't be so freaked about perfection. So let's thicken all of these, because beauty, that's a big word in our quote, right? There we go. And let's do what can we do to this flower to kind of make it more of a focal point? Could thicken up those lines. Kind of digging that. So now once we've done this, oh, it does kind of look like it's puffing out, doesn't it? But it's not at all. You can absolutely watch this back a second time, Karen. Let's see. Ba, 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 ba. Hey, Maria. So now let's start with some funky doodly mandala sort of stuff. So let's, I just like scallops, so let's start with that. That's kind of a fun way to, okay, so here's a point that you might stop because you have a petal right here, right? So do we continue with scallops all the way around, or do we stop at each petal? You choose. I'm going to go all the way around. Why not? Right? So we're just going to slowly have these scallops. Remember, they do not have to be perfect. They're just not going to be. You know why? Because a human hand is drawing them, not a machine. I hope that everyone is taking some time for some self-care during all this crazy. And you are, if you're here watching me, taking a class, learning something new, making art with me. I love that. That makes me so happy. Did anyone happen to watch last week's CBS Sunday Morning? That is my favorite news show because it's all nice news. So anyway, my mom, you know, she is my biggest fan. She watched it and she called me afterward because we usually talk about some subject that's on there or, you know. Anyway, so now let's add some little, like maybe some teardrops. Shut up, look how cute that is. She said, so there was an artist on there who did the most amazing painting. And it's all it's like people from all walks of life. Gosh, if you get a chance to watch it on the replay, do. I just record it every week, and then if I'm feeling particularly like I need a little pick-me-up, I just watch it, because there's always nice stories on there. And Jim Gaffigan's on there, and he always makes me laugh. Anyway, there's this artist on there, and he's just all about spreading hope and spreading joy during such a trying time, you know? And my mom said, honey, that's what you're doing. Oh, what a mom. She's amazing. And I hope I am doing a little bit of that. I hope that everybody feels good when they're here, and that's my goal. Let's see, what am I going to do next? So I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do with these, but I just drew them so I have some continuity, and, you know, I'll just figure it out later. Okay, remember we talked about that you can turn your book so that your hand isn't upside down. Almost there. And the cool thing about mandalas is that you can do whatever you want in there, right? You could do words, or you could do, like, we could do her name. Ooh, let's do that. We could do her name. We could do just more kind of meditative shapes. We could do whatever we want. I'm trying to get the comments to show. Let's see. Oh, I just made them go away. Let's see. What pen am I using? I am using Micron 01. And that's just because that's what was laying on the table. Let's see. 4 Bibles. You know what, Tam? You know what? Those Zoom gatherings are just the most amazing thing, aren't they? Golly, it's just like magic. I had a little Zoom get together with some girlfriends last night, and can I tell you, it just warmed the cockles of my heart. It was just what I needed. It was just to see their faces and to see their expressions when we laughed about things or were sad about things together. It was just, it just makes such, it's a one, Lynn Harvey, it's a micron one. But you can use whatever if you only have a Sharpie, use a Sharpie. That's not the part that, the part that matters is that you just paint something and draw on top of it. Let's see, what are we gonna do next? We could do some dots. We could do a dot in here. Well, I said I would continue through the scribble line, so I guess I need to continue doing that. I got a huge shout out today from my friend Tracy, who owns Papercraft Clubhouse in Westbrook, Connecticut. So I think we have some of her friends making art with us today. That's so cool. Remember, the only price of this class is that you have to like and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Let's try up here. My painting is still pretty wet, so I think I'm just going to be working on this. But I will try to work on it throughout the week and then post pictures. Once you're in the Let's Get Artsy with Anne Facebook group, the private group, if you go to the photos section, you will see the most inspiring album of art made by everyone here. Oh my gosh. It just tickles me to see all of that beautiful color and everyone's interpretation with the same prompt and the same kind of technique. It just makes me so happy. It just makes me so happy. Hey, Tam. Hi, Candy. So, I was thinking that, you can take these techniques and use them in any application. If we play with them in our art journal, then you could take that application and do it in your Bible or do it, I don't know, on a scrapbook page or on a card. You could do it like I said, in any application. So just kind of keep going with that, Sorry, I need a drink of water. I hope that, because then you're kind of creating your own reference file, right? Of all of these techniques. And you'll kind of remember, like once you start working on it, you'll kind of remember, oh yeah, I just kind of pounced colors all over. And then the other thing that you can do is once you've kind of started with this, you can go in with a more detail-y brush and you can fill some of these, right? So that's kind of going to make some of those shapes. You could fill it with paint, you could fill it with your pen, you could fill it with a white gel pen, you could do, that's the thing, right? You could do anything you want. It's whatever we want it to be. Is it hot in your areas? Well, Becky says it's hot in Scotland. Oh, let's see. You guys are you 8 hours different than us? Hey, Lenora, how are you? Are you puzzling? Are you making cards? I think that for me, art journaling, sometimes it is rare that 42. That's crazy, Pam. My sister and my mom both said that it's chilly willy in Montana and Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. I figured you were making some cards, Lenora. So what I was gonna say is that sometimes I just like to create backgrounds. So then I can go back and then I can build on it later. Sometimes it takes me a while to finish a page, you know, to finish a whole entry. I like to Candy, I'm sure Tessa has told you that Jeff is from Broomfield, Colorado. So you can, hey JC, how are you, honey? So I'm thinking that I could do this pink and then I could come back and put some white gel pen on top of there. I could, I don't know. Whoa, a little too much water on that one. Remember, I told you that if you get kind of a big blurb of water, you can just take the corner of your paper towel and just touch it, and it's just going to soak up onto your paper towel, and that will make a huge difference. You'll be so happy. And then we can come back in and just fill it in with just paint this time. We broke down and finally turned our air conditioning on. Holy smokes. It was so hot. So girls who have been in my classes at Scraps of Love, I had a little, remember I told you I have these weekly virtual art classes with my great niece and nephew. Patricia, I noticed that you sent me a friend request. Follow me on Corbiere-Scott Designs. That's where you'll see all of my artsy stuff. The other one is my family Facebook page. So just follow me on Corbiere-Scott Designs. What was I just saying before that? Oh, Desi and Braxton. So I have these little virtual art classes with them, and I just read them The Dot. Remember we read that in class? It was so good. So any of you budding artists, you might read that children's book called The Dot. It was just, oh my gosh. It was so good and inspiring. This is just kind of mesmerizing, exactly how art journaling should be. I think. Ooh, I'm kind of digging that. What do you think? Tessa, are you here? Watching me as Corbiere-Scott Designs? That's funny. So, let's see. What else could we... Let's do her name. I'm thinking we do her name. Georgia. And Georgia O'Keeffe's last name is spelled O''Keeffe. It's kind of a funny spelling. We could do her name Great Big, Or we could just write Georgia, 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 Georgia. I don't know. I'm going to paint a little bit more and see if I think of something good. So now I think I'm going to come in with some orange and do well, should I do these dots? Oh, that's good. Or should I do these humps? The scallops. That's kind of pretty. So how is everybody doing? Is everybody painting today, or are you just watching me? Ask me a question, or throw out a topic. It's kind of weird to just talk to myself sitting here in my kitchen. Oh, if anyone's looking for something to watch on Netflix, Jeff and I just finished it's one of those limited series called Unorthodox, and it's about a particular hi Debbie Rowe, a particular sect of the Hasidic Jew community. Oh my gosh, it's just fascinating. Hi, Eureka. Well, Olga, I want to see what other flower you made. Now you've piqued all of our curiosity. Well, Pam, whatever I dang please. I often use the white to lighten a color, so you can get tints. White added to any color will give you a tint of that color. So just remember that. The more that you play with your watercolors, with just a basic set of watercolors, you can have so many, your color palette can grow and grow and grow. Last time we had talked about, I have made this color chart, when I, during my classes that I hold at Scraps of Love. So what I did was this was a class that we did on color mixing, and we did the primary colors, red, yellow, blue. We added we added red and yellow to get our secondary colors. Red and yellow created orange. Yellow and blue created green. Blue and red created violet. And then even after that, you're going to, if you mix blue and violet, you're going to get blue violet. If you mix red and violet, you're going to get violet red. Do you understand the process? I'm telling you, the more that you fiddle around with, well, I don't know what that was. I thought I had something else in here about, no, I guess not. But if you add white to any color, you're going to get a tint. If you add black to any color, you're going to get a shade. If you add gray to any color, you're going to get a tone. So think about the possibilities within your own palette of colors. You have all kinds of colors that you can create. I mean, and that's just a basic color theory lesson. Believe me, I am a lifelong student of color theory. You're constantly learning. But the more you learn, the more, I'm telling you, you'll see it show up in your art. You'll see it. And you'll be so happy. Your colors will thank you. Your art journaling will thank you. your Bible journaling, whatever you're doing, even your card making, the more you understand color, the more you will it will be reflected in your art of any kind. If you're a quilter, if you're a knitter, if you're a card maker, like I said, the more you understand color, it will benefit you, that's for sure. How is everyone doing? Hi, Wendy. I don't have any music on, remember, because now I'm paranoid to listen to music because Instagram shut me out that one day because I had a little bit of Electric Light Orchestra playing in the background, so now I'm missing it. Don't you listen to music while you create? I just do, that's for sure. I don't have a white pen up here, but if I did, I would probably color those dots white, is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking. So I'm going to go back in my other art journal and look for some reference material, because that's what all art journaling is, right? Is reference material. So let's see. I'm thinking I could recreate some, I'm looking for some other mandala examples, some flower examples, something that'll just kind of inspire me. I know I have lots in here. I've done like many versions of mandalas, that's for sure. I just find them so fun. But I was thinking, Does anybody have anything to say? Whenever I'm trying out new watercolors or inks, I always buy the primary colors first. Well, I decide exactly. Me too. Can I show the pages in this art journal? Sure. So let's see. Can you see that? So this, I think we talked about this. Maybe I talked about it in one of the IG classes that I did. This is, I did some mandalas where I just drew 3 circles that were kind of overlapping each other. And I tried to do, build them separately, but have them be kind of together. But do you see this? I could come back with some paint like I did here. I could just continue with just black lines. I probably won't. I'll probably come in with thicker black lines and then some black. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, there's a scribble art that I started 100 years ago. Let's see. Here's, I just sprayed with some spray ink over a leaf. I don't know what I'll do with that, but something. There's a little bit of overhang on this page, so I'll just use that as like a, remember art journaling is all about layers, so I'm just going to layer on top of that. Here's just some acrylic paint that I have a big rule in all of my classes, don't waste color. So I'm sure it was left over from some other project and I just spread it on my pages. Ooh, here, shut up, look at this. So this is a page where I had a little bit of acrylic paint and I had just spread it on the pages, and then I put a leaf down, and then I sprayed on top of it, and then I took that leaf and I stamped it on this page. Stop it. Ooh, this is something fun that we could do later on, This was done with masking fluid and watercolors. That's kind of my favorite. My great nephew Noah did this page when I was at his Grammy's house, my sister. This is another version of this, only I just did lighter colors. This is bleeding art tissue. We could do that. There's bleeding art tissue. Mandala. Here is when I was starting to sketch a breast cancer ribbon, not a breast cancer, a cancer ribbon for my friend Laura, who we sadly lost to cancer, but we created a stamp set in her honor. Here's another mandala. Here's just some watercolor, I don't know, who knows what I was doing. Here's a mandala kind of technique where I just drew little lines of the Roy G. Biv, and then I'll come in and do something on top of that. Here's some art play with woodies. Those are super fun art supply. And here is, I kind of created like a paint with the woodies and just splattered. Here's another one where I just drew some flowers on top of some artsy background. Here's another artsy background. There's some more artsy background. This is kind of interesting. So this was a spray, and now I think it was a Nuvo spray, and I just sprayed it through Punchinella. And this here is paper towel that had all kinds of color on it. So it has texture, and oh, I just love it. And then I washi taped the edges. That is my brother-in-law's handprint. Who knows what that, who knows? Tessa Reed did these 2 pages one day in class. This was Catherine Pooler inks. I was kind of fiddling around with some techniques. This page, I think, there's a highlight on my highlight reel on Instagram, is the process of that. This, I created the background, and then this is a perfect example of, I created the background, and then I had this tag, so I kind of did something on there, and then I stamped. But my friend Landis had made this cool stuff out of tissue paper and resin, and she had given me some pieces, so I glued it down, because how cool is that? Some doodly things. Let's see, what's on this side? There's a stamp that I drew with a painty background. There's another, is this boring to anybody? Am I boring you? This art journal is not an art journal at all. It is actually Catherine Pooler's, it's supposed to be a bullet journal, but I really liked it because it has, I don't know if you can see, the pages have a dot grid. Do you see it? So for me, as an art journaler, that is like my first layer, right? My first layer is dots. So anything I build upon that is going to have those dots showing through. And that's what I love. That's the beauty of art journaling for me, is those layers and layers and layers. And you, every now and again, you're going to see some of those dots peek through. Or you're going to see, there, do you see? You can see the dots peeking through. Anyway, for me, that's the beauty. This is a scribble art page that I made, and these are the expensive watercolors that I bought in England, and I just wanted to see how they played, and look how beautiful the colors are. They're so brilliant. Here's some more mandala play. Here's some more. This page was done with all highlighters and some glitter pens on top of it. But the flowers were drawn with highlighters. This, I just filled the page with flowers. This was done with highlighters, and I moved the color around with water and then drew on top of it. This was just some acrylic paint, and then I just went all over it with a Posca pen with just a whole bunch of squiggles. Who knows what I'll do next with that. This is acrylic paint. I was doing some kind of project, and these were the colors I was using, and I didn't, you know, I try really hard to not waste color. So I had leftover paint from that project, so I just painted it in my art journal, and who knows what I'll do on top of that. Here's another start of a mandala. Here's some more watery backgrounds. Here's some remnants from a jelly printing day. Here is another started scribble art with masking fluid. Here's another something I was dreaming up with Laura's stamp. This was leftover paint from our pages that we did in October for breast cancer awareness. We did some jelly printing, and I had some extra acrylic paint, and so I just used my brayer and just ran it over, filled my pages with that pink. This is one that it looks like I painted through, or maybe. I have this old plastic doily that is one of my go-to stencils, and I think I might have like used a blending tool and put some ink on top of it. This is is this boring? Is this boring to anyone? Did anyone say yes? What, you're boring? This is some abstract art that I was kind of fiddling around with. This is some more abstract art that I was fiddling around with. This is some more abstract art that I was fiddling around with. This is, I started to draw some mandalas with crayons. This looks like inks that I sprayed through a stencil, and then I stamped with a stencil. Same thing here. And then I think I might have all blank pages for the rest of that I still need to fill up with more art. I like to have an art journal that is just fat, that's just full of wrinkly pages. I like my journaling Bible to look like that. I like my art journals to look like that. I did get some new paints. I was playing when I was Zooming with my friends last night. So I will show you. I'm going to just try and soak up this little bit of wet paint down here still so that I can turn the page. I will tell you a big trick is to use deli paper. You can use deli paper when you're Bible journaling. You can put it behind your page. So it's just what they wrap your sandwich in at the deli. So one side is waxy, one side is not. I make art on this side all the time. But like this, because I'm going to turn the page, I can put this on top, and then I can open my art journal and that paint won't get on something else. So I got these, so these paints are right here. So these are handmade watercolors, and they're made by a company, which is a girl, called Hydra Color. And she takes, so they're all shimmery. She has some that change colors. Oh my gosh, they're so brilliantly beautiful. So as I was talking on the phone last night, I was just fiddling around, but I see lots of fun play in my future with that. These are the expensive ones I got from England. I was just telling my friend Tessa that I have a drawer that you can barely close because it has so many different kinds of water-soluble art mediums. But I don't want to get rid of a single solitary one. I love them all. I love them all. Oh, there's what we did last time. No, wait, what did we do? There's what we did last time. So our friend Michelle said that she probably won't be able to be here today because she is moving. Ugh, I would hate to, well, it's probably not hot where she is, but ugh, I can't imagine moving here. Let's see, what else can we do? We could do some fun, we could just do some fun kind of veins within the petals. Remember, this page is nice and wrinkly, so our veins are going to be wrinkly too, but that's kind of cool because it kind of creates movement within your petal, because, you know, petals on real flowers, the veins in them are not perfectly straight. They're kind of wrinkly, like maybe the wind got to them, or I don't know. Maybe they got crunched on by a bunny rabbit or something. But do you see how just like adding just something simple like that can kind of change the whole look of your painting? Does anybody have anything to say? Is it just me again? Okay, I'm not boring. Yay! I am taking my time, Linda. I am. It's just kind of a weird feeling, you know. Usually, I'd be in a classroom with lots of people and we'd just be chattering away. But hopefully someday I'll get to do that again. If not, I have toyed with the idea of doing some online paid classes. I haven't figured out exactly how to do that yet, but I just like making art with other people. I think that kind of makes it twice as fun, you know? Did you see silks? I have, well, I had them, yes, so Lynn, I have seen them, and I have, I bought some of those from Fun Stamper's Journey a long time ago. Remember when they were a at-home party kind of thing? I had a friend who sold it, and so I bought some of those, and I do really kind of dig them. You know, I do not deny myself any cuteness when it comes to art supplies, Miss Lynn. So, you know what I kind of dig on this? So when you think about this as you're painting your background, do you see right here I have these little, like little speckles of color? I love that. Just kind of adds like another little something something. It was splatter painting and I wasn't even trying to splatter paint. So look at the difference just that did. It's kind of crazy. It's Heather Ferguson. How are you? How is Cali? Are you in Cali or Arizona? Whoops. So now I'm going to take a big slug of Diet Coke and contemplate my next layer of who knows what. Hey, Linz. So, I did get some, you know what, I do have white paint, so I wonder if we fiddled around with the white. Hi, Roseanne. We could just use white acrylic since I don't have my pen up here. I just fill those dots with white. I'm kind of digging that. I was telling my girlfriends on the Zoom call last night, my husband is an engineer that's what his degree is in, but he's, that's not what he does every day now, but he's quite creative too. But he would tell you he is not, but that's not true. But I think everybody can be creative if they just give themselves a chance and are nice to themselves about it. Anyway, he likes to tinker on old cars, and he just bought himself a 69 Jeep. Oh my gosh, he is in hog heaven. And it is so hot outside, and he will come in and he will just be drenched in sweat, but with the biggest smile on his face. That's for sure. But he just jumped in the pool, so I'm sure that's helping him for a little bit. And he'll probably jump in the pool again. I don't know. It's still pretty, that water's still pretty cold for me. I like it kind of like a bath. Although, if I'm outside, I might just jump in it. That's for sure. Whoops. Let's see. That white is kind of working. So there you go, Pam. That's what I'm using my white for, to fill in these little circles. I like to, back in the day when Becky and I both designed for Rusty Pickle, there was a girl who designed with us, and her name was Mo, and she was so talented. Oh my gosh. And today she is just as talented. Anyway, she, like Becky and I, we just kind of watch each other and cheer each other on from afar. She's just, oh my gosh, she's amazing. But anyway, back then, she started filling in all of the open spots of her lettering when she journaled on her scrapbook pages. So, like this A, she would fill that in with color. And the open part of the P, she would fill that in with color. I'm telling you, before long, so many of us had kind of adopted that. I mean, I'm sure she didn't invent it, but you know, it's all, nobody really invents much of anything these days. It's just kind of putting your own spin on it, you know? And she had really cool handwriting too, so it even made it cooler because it was really, you really took notice as she did that with all of her, it's not as bright as I want it to be. The white. Anyway, her lettering was amazing, amazing. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like I want to kind of keep it like this. Maybe I could come in with maybe not that thin of a brush, but remember I told you, my brushes are, they run the gamut. Some are expensive, some are not. So if you, remember I said, if you add a little bit of black to your color, you'll get a shade. And with a shade, you can do shading. So I added a little bit of black to this pink. I think you can see that there, right? And then with that, I can start to add a little bit of dimension to my petals, but just barely. Remember we talked about just pick a side. Doesn't matter which side, just pick a side and have the, so since I'm shading on this side, my my light source is coming from this side. So see, we're just kind of like really kind of loosely darkening this side of each one of the petals. And because we have this kind of funky, painty background, it just kind of blends in. If not, remember, just take a little bit of water on your brush and you can just brush it out. Just kind of work it into the side. So I'm going to do one round of this, see how I feel. And then if I'm feeling like we need a little bit more, we can go around again. That's the beauty of painting, you know, especially watercolors, I think. Well, anything really. Don't rush yourself. Just take your time. You'll see such a huge difference in the end. So do you see, I'm painting on top of this pen, and the beauty of Faber-Castell and microns is that they are water resistant and waterproof, and so they won't move. That darkening, hey Catherine Daly, they won't move when you put water on top of them. The darkening you see is the black that I've added to my pink paint. So I'm thinking I want this just a little bit deeper within there, you know. So what I did was I just took some of my pink and I just found a little bit of black and I just added it. I hope you can kind of see that. Let's see if I move that over. And that just created, see, that just creates kind of a darker shade. And then we're just gonna tap, tap, tap. How about anybody else? Anybody have anything good that they've been watching on TV that they can recommend to everybody? Looks like we're going to be here for a while at home. We could do it in class, Lynn. That is a good idea. Someday we'll get to make art together in real life. But until then, this is not a bad second, is it? I don't think. So do you see how you just like slowly build little by little by little by little the darkening? And I think you can see the difference. And think about where, think about when you're thinking about where to darken, think about where it would be dark on a flower. So we talked about, oh, one called the heart. That's so good. So think about, like I said, where it would be dark. So it would be, if your light source is on this side, it would be dark on this side, right? But think about at the base of these petals, where the petals meet the center of the flower, that could be a little bit dark too. So we're just going to slowly start to add bits in there. My friend Monica is a fine artist. I'm sure she has way better technique than I. She's amazing. So check her out too. Monica Martin. Fine art. Oh, I was a little heavy-handed there. So I'm going to just keep painting along. And then, so I'm just going to paint it out, and then come back and do the same here. Paint it out, paint it out. Ew, that one's really heavy. Well, I could go deeper there, and then over here. Is that helping everybody? Just these little bits and pieces will just add so much more dimension to your painting. I really, really hope that everybody posts that, snaps a picture of theirs when they're done, and then posts it on the Let's Get Artsy with Anne page, because that's so fun and inspiring for everybody to see what everybody else did. Like, ooh, I wouldn't have thought to put blue there, or ooh, I wouldn't have thought to draw it that way, or, you know, we're just all here to inspire each other. I think that's, especially during this kind of time, you know, it's just nice to share your art with each other. I'm just losing myself in this paintbrush. Remember I told you I do that sometimes, and I just, oh, it makes me so happy. Hey, Mindy. Well, and I just want everybody to think, you know, I didn't really have a big plan with this page, but what I kind of thought about doing is not what I ended up doing, and that's the beauty, right? Let's just let it take us wherever it wants to go. I mean, we're still paying homage to Miss Georgia O'Keeffe, right? Because we did a great, big, beautiful flower. We did a close-up of a great, big, beautiful flower. We chose warm colors or cool colors, whichever you chose. But she mostly painted in warms or cools. But then we kind of put our own spin on it, you know? I kind of put my own doodly, wordy, girdy spin on it, right? So, try to not be so rigid with yourself, you know? Just let yourself make art for the sake of art. And it will be beautiful if you just let yourself make art for the sake of art. Oh, Sarah, I'm anxious to hear what you fill those cubes with. I know I have an order in with Susan at Paper Arts Edmond in Edmond, Oklahoma. You remember, I'm going to give you my speech again. Support those local scrapbook stores. If you can, give them a chance first if you're looking for art supplies or, you know, the latest artsy toys that we all kind of love. We just want them to be there when this is over. That's for sure. I think that needs to be a little bit deeper. It needs a little more black, maybe. I don't know. So I'm adding a little bit more black, and then I'm just going to just barely come in here with the darker, like right in the crevice of those scallops, because I think that will create a little bit more dimension that I'm kind of looking for. So sometimes I paint it on and let it kind of soak in a little bit, and then I come back and paint it out with water, like kind of pull it out. I'll show you. Just because I feel like, I mean, this is no scientific theory or anything. It's just kind of my own little, what I do. If I just let it soak for a little bit, I feel like it kind of gets into the fibers of the paper, and then I can come back and just soften that edge. And then I've got a nice blend. You know what I mean? So if you didn't catch the whole thing, I hope you'll watch it on the replay and let me know. Let me know that you watched it, or let me know if you liked it or you didn't like it, or what you'd like to see in the future. I have something kind of fun planned for next Saturday, as it is National Scrapbook Day, and we're all having to celebrate that together apart. With social distancing, but I do have something kind of fun in the works. It's not kind of fun, it's really fun. And everybody make sure that you follow me on Facebook and Corbiere-Scott Designs, and on Instagram, and then after today, make sure that you ask to join Ann Corbiere's, or Let's Get Artsy with Ann, the private Facebook group, because I have something really big coming this week, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. So, with that, I feel like it's about time to sign off. So, let's agree to meet next Saturday, same time, same place. And let's visit with each other throughout the week, you know. Let's leave each other messages on Facebook and Instagram and emails, and, you know, let's keep this fun spirit going, you know. Girls, I'm loving that. Aren't you loving that? I think that dark really helped make it pop. And then if I come back in with some gel pen in a little bit, I think that will make a difference too. So until then, let's get artsy. Talk to you soon. Bye, girls. How do I turn it off? Hey, Jennifer Paulman. Oh, how do I turn it off? Bye.